Good morning on a Monday morning. Most of you know by now that I have come down with COVID, so I'm on quarantine at home. This has sure been a change being here over the weekend without my usual kind of activities, let alone the midweek stuff. I watched Mass online, 9:30, with many of you. I have to say it was really a tender experience to see those of you whom I love so much at the parish, and I know that you've been praying for me. I'm really grateful for all of that. Thanks. I'm glad we had that way as a community of connecting with each other. It's humbling being sick. As you know, as a pastor, I'm usually on the other end of this lineup where I'm caring for others. And I'm really, truly grateful for the support you've offered. I know a lot of you are praying, and that means a lot to me. Someone sent me a picture that describes me well at this time. It says, "I'm swift as a gazelle, an old one with arthritis, run over by a Land Rover 8 days ago." So my energy is really low. I have about an hour and a half of I don't know if you call it stamina even, and then I'm just down flat once again. But I'm sure it's going to recover, and I'm really grateful for the vaccine because I know this would be a lot worse if it weren't for the fact that I'm fully vaccinated. So pondering a homily for this next weekend, I'm hoping and assuming that I'm going to be able to do that with you. I've been reading a book that I found really insightful. I got it at the library actually. It's called Church Interrupted. And it's talking about Pope Francis and many of the different situations that he's gotten himself into in these first 7 years as our Pope, and some of the conflict that's come around that. And what's impressed me so much is the author's ability to point out how Francis is able to hold two seemingly very contrary positions in a kind of, as you've heard my phrase before, a dynamic tension, holding them both at the same time without needing to resolve that. And this author would claim that that is fundamental Catholicism right there, is that we don't try to always find a simple, cut and dried way of explaining everything away, but we need to learn to live with this greater complexity, which is a real challenge for most of us, because I think especially within the church, we've expected the church to be a kind of safe haven where everything is spelled out black and white. And yet we know that life itself is messy. Pope Francis himself has said that life just isn't as clear as even some of our moral norms and our doctrines would hope that they might be. We're human beings and we have to live with this complexity. Even our surrender to God is a combination of trust and at the simplest level, but it's also profound and it's deep. The mystics and the great saints in our tradition have expressed that very well, that it's about our effort and it's about God's effort, and it's both of these at the same time, over and over again. So we've been working with the book of James beginning this last weekend with Father Tony's homily on listening carefully. I'm listening carefully during this time of being laid up, trying to hear what God is speaking more deeply within me. This coming weekend, James is going to be talking about having no favoritism. And on a deeper level, that's talking about more than just favoritism within our community, but it's learning to have a broader perspective on everyone and on everything. So thanks for your prayers. I'm hanging in there. I'm doing the best I can. I will stay in touch. When I can get back safely, I will. In the meantime, I'm praying also and trying to use this time however God wants me to use it, to honor Him and to live my life in the fullest possible way. Blessings to you, and especially blessings on all of those who are seriously sick with COVID, way beyond what I am. Okay? Love you all. Bye-bye now.